Today, we are going to talk about how to decide how much help your loved one or your family member needs with the task of washing up or taking a bath. If your family member is able to completely independently wash up from head to toe and can complete all of the steps, even though they're interrupted, and they notice that the floor is wet and can avoid slipping, and they do not ask you for any reassurance, and if the soap runs out, they go and automatically locate new soap to use, they do not need any help with taking a bath. This does not mean that your family member doesn't perhaps need help with things like their medicine or bill paying or some of those other harder tasks that we do to run a household, but it just means that for taking a bath, they do not need your help. Now, if your family member or loved one is still able to wash up independently or completely from head to toe, but they forget what they were doing if they got interrupted and cannot finish all of the steps then, or they sometimes notice or sometimes don't notice that the floor is wet and slippery and they could slip and fall, and they're asking you for reassurance, saying things like, am I doing this right? And they may or may not go and locate more soap should their soap run out, but they will tell you that they need soap. Then your loved one is likely still able to take their shower without you being in the room, but they may need closer supervision on an everyday level or an everyday perspective. They may not be able to entirely live by themselves anymore without daily support or supervision. Now, thirdly, if a family member needs you to watch them when they take a shower and they're missing parts of their body that they cannot see, for example, their back or behind their legs, and they don't at all notice that the floor is wet and slippery and that they could slip and fall. And if the soap runs out, they don't automatically go and locate more soap to use, but they'll ask you for help with their shower. Then your loved one needs you to be in the room when they take their shower. They won't be able to complete the activity of bathing with good quality without you standing there. Now, next, if your loved one or family member needs your supervision and they miss all body parts that they cannot see, so they only wash what they can see, and they don't at all try to wash anything that they cannot see, and they don't at all notice that the floor is slippery and wet, and they just stop washing when the soap runs out and they don't ask for help, they will need you as their person helping them to tell them step by step what to do and how to safely complete the task of bathing. You cannot leave them alone and expect them to have taken a shower without you being there. And if your family member doesn't wash up at all by themselves and they need to sit down for you to be able to wash them, but if you give them a washcloth, they'll hold it in their hand and they may kind of rub around without any purpose, but they look like they're trying to wash, then they can still bathe with your help in the shower, but they will need you to tell them what they're washing, and you will have to do all of the quality of the task, or else it won't be done with good quality, and you will have to help them in and out of the shower or tub. And you will need to be there at all times when they're in the shower. And if your family member, lastly, this is the the person that needs the most help with taking a shower or a bath is they don't try to wash up themselves by themselves at all. And they have to sit when you're helping them wash up. And they can hold the washcloth when you give it to them, but they don't try to move it at all. They'll just take it in their hands and they'll hold it. This loved one, this family member will need you to physically help them with all of their washing up. And you may need to consider making it even easier for them by maybe not putting them in a shower, but actually only helping them sponge bathe, because they're at a point where they're starting to need more help in just maintaining and holding their body up in space. So this video was a short little video describing 6 different levels that a person with dementia may be in regarding the task of bathing and washing up.